Hello, I thought I would try something new for this coming new year. I would like to talk about where I am creatively and what I would like to explore in the coming year. I will always be wet felting. I always love playing with wool and smelling the different types of wool and olive oil soap and things. So that will always form a large part of my practice. But I have recently fallen in love with journaling. Now, these journals are called art journals. Um, they can be called junk journals, memory books, anything you like to call them. But they essentially are records of what make your heart sing. You create these books, these journals yourself, and you fill it up just with anything that means something to you. Now, to reverse a wee bit, I've always throughout my life I've loved books. I've loved writing. Loved writing stories, poems, in adult life, reports at work. So even to the point where I wrote and self-published my own book. I think that was probably about 10 years ago. An Angelic Toolkit. This was part of my own healing after stress and panic and, quite a dark time. I wrote this book. But it's only recently, and it's only through a lovely artist that I met from Arran. Her name's Fiona Doubleday. She's a seasonal artist, and she runs a Patreon group that connects people from all over the world, and we all work on projects. And an important project that really became important to me was a journal. Now, these journals are simply made. They can use anything you've got lying about the house, and you gather these papers together, and using a simple what's called a pamphlet stitch, you bind them together. Now, I shared this particular journal about a week or so ago. I made it just using packaging, Amazon packaging, and bits of Hessian fabric that I had kicking about, magazine pages, wrapping papers, books from pages from old books, envelopes that come through your door. You don't get that many of them nowadays, so just keep them. You never know. Or wrapping paper, and here, a bag of flour. It's paper, so just keep it, iron it, and use it as a page. And then newspapers. I know we don't tend to buy very many newspapers nowadays. And the middle page is a page from a songbook that I picked up in a charity shop. I can't find the middle. Gosh, where's the middle? There, page. And you can see the pamphlet stitch there. It's a very simple stitch. There are YouTube videos on how to do it. The 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Again, Fiona pointed me in that direction as well. And this helps to make it accessible to everybody. So you don't have to have fancy papers kicking about the house. You can use whatever you've got to hand as your base, and then you can just explore what makes your heart sing there. So what would you put in it? Well, you could put in pictures, you could put in song lyrics, poems, you could put in just pages from a magazine, absolutely anything. Colours, maybe you like certain colours, so maybe make a wee tray of colours of paint and then just paint on the pages. You could explore different artistic techniques like printing and things like that. Simple printing, not going into litho printing and all that. You could just explore. using different techniques. And why? Why would you do that? Well, life has been quite hard recently for everybody. And sometimes we are caught within the confines of what people expect us to be, what people perceive us to be, and that's most of the time nothing at all what we actually are or what we actually need. Um, and journaling and art is a way of finding that within yourself and finding what makes you tick and what makes you happy, what makes you smile. And in finding those moments throughout the day, throughout the week, months, years, you can slowly build up a picture, an idea of what makes you tick. Out with of the roles that everyone thinks. Are you a postman? Are you a doctor? Are you a mother? Are you a father? Or, whatever roles you have chosen or have been placed upon you, you can step out of that just for that moment and value your journal and art as a way of connecting back to you. And if that sounds very airy fairy, then it's not really. Art for me has been a means and a way of capturing moments in time. It can be just a blink of an eye and just something captured your eye, like a dragonfly landing on a fence post. Your whole life could be swirling around about you in chaos, but that one moment, that one dragonfly that captured your eye meant something, made you feel something, made you think something. And if you're like me, I'm a geek. I love finding out the spiritual significance of a dragonfly. What do they symbolise? What colour dragonfly? What the colour therapy aspect of it is? Was it red? Was it blue? Was it green? What do those colours symbolise? And I start unpicking things that way. And I start just noting down odd words, what I feel, what I think, and I write all those down. So in a page in my journal could be the picture of the dragonfly that I just met. It could be a wee sketch of it. It could just be swatches of colour, bits of fabric, bits of pages of a magazine. It could be a song, a poem about a dragonfly. It could be absolutely anything. But it all falls within my journal so that I can look back and remember that time and remember that feeling. My journal also can hold darker moments. Now, in the past wee while, I felt quite lost, I felt quite down, depressed, let's just call it for what it is. There have been moments where I could barely pick myself up off the floor, to be honest. It sounds very dramatic, but I struggled to find a reason to just hope to get up. And what helped me through that was facing it. I would just maybe get the old black paper out, get images out that maybe spoke to how I was feeling, write down the words that were coming through my mind, my body, my senses, and see where my eye was caught in those moments, painful as it was, and I would put it in my journal. And in those quieter moments, in those less chaotic, darker moments, I would then look back and say, wow, that was quite a dark day. This is what I thought, this is what I felt. And I could even use it to challenge, well, I now know that even though it felt that way, it was my perceptions being warped by stress, strain, worry, fear is the big one. And I could even just challenge it and see how I had moved on from that moment. And, so it's not just to document the happy, the bright, it can be whatever it needs to be for you. Your journal can be your journey, the J word, and you can put in it anything. I recently made a journal, as a book of memories, really, for my daughter's 30th, and it contains photographs from her 30 years, wristbands from concerts, concert tickets, plane tickets, song lyrics, animals that have meant a lot to her. She loves cats as well, so I put in a wee bit of fur fabric and some bells, because cats love bells, jingly things and stuff. So it was a multi-sensory book, so that she could open and feel and hear and see everything that her life has brought her way. And it was a way of me getting to know her university years as well, and her years since she's left home and stuff. So it was special for me to make for her, and it was hopefully special for her to receive and to look through, and perhaps to add to herself. So that can also be a use for the journals that you make up. It can be memories captured in time in such a multi-sensory way. Another journal is a holiday to Harris and Lewis. So in it, I've got dried flowers, I've got sand, just a wee bit of sand that I mixed with a gel medium and then popped onto a kind of a luggage label, and I just wrote down what beach it was, so I could always remember the colour of the sand and the flowers that I had picked. Just one little flower I had picked, and obviously I went into the symbolisms of the flowers and stuff as well, but this was my memory of the holiday. And I picked up leaflets as I went along, and I would put shreds of the leaflets inside as well that would spark memories and anything that happened on that holiday. I remember seeing a tree. It was a petrified tree. It was just the roots of a tree by the side of a road. Now, Lewis doesn't have many trees, so this is obviously from underneath the bog layer, the peat layer. So I made this tree out of, the oven dried clay you get, and I stuck it in with different types of Harris tweed. And texturally, it's great. I love different textures in my journals, so I can feel and rub my hands through and stuff like that. I like touching and stuff, and that sparks memories as well. So you can journal for every day, you can journal for holidays, you can journal for somebody that you love. I think it's just a joy that this wee simply handmade book can mean so much and open up so much, and you don't have to be an artist. Chuck away the notion of being perfect, being an artist, for this to be, in a gallery someday. No, this is just for you. This is just for you to have a play with, to get messy with. If you want to get a wee selection of paints, great. Or inks, whatever floats your boat. Or if you like sewing, you could use it to sew into. This is just something for you just to reconnect with the creative person that you are. And creativity is a way of problem solving life. That's it. If you use art to navigate through life, then you'll make it so much easier and truer to who you are, because you're listening to you. You're listening to what's important to you. What you notice going about the world is completely different to what I would notice, and it's equally as important, in fact more important to you, to realise what moves you, what is important to you, what you want to hold close and to have meaning. So I think journaling is a map back to yourself. If you've lost yourself in life, then this journal can help you navigate your way back home. But I'm not being trite. This is something, I think this is why it feels so important to me to share and to hopefully inspire lots and lots of people. Everybody should be doing this. There is no gold standard. There are no rules. You can do anything, put anything in these books, these journals, because it's to make you happy. And it's to make you remember. Use every sense that you've got. I've even put a wee pouch of rose petals in one journal that I made for a friend. Because it's all about love and all about connection, and rose petals just make me think and feel that way. So I sewed up a wee bag of rose petals and popped it in the journal, sewed it in the journal for her as well. So you can use every sense in these wee books, so they become such a special part of your life. I hope I haven't gone on too much. I started off and I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this video. I don't like appearing on video and talking and stuff. But I think it is something that I feel passionate about. I don't quite know how I can spread this or how I can help everyone to do it. Maybe through taking you through one journal at a time, showing you different techniques. Maybe that's a way I can help you explore this yourself. I don't know. But we'll find out. And along the way, don't worry, I will still be wet felting, so I love my wet felting. That will always be an important part of who and what I am creatively, because this is a wee journal cover I made for a sketchbook, using colours and textures and just that I love. And you can hug your own sketchbook too, so I will always be wet felting too. So find what makes you happy, and if I can be a part of that journey and make it easier and more accessible, then I think that's what I'd like to do this year. Okay, so I hope I haven't been up too long, and if you have any questions, if you have anything to share, then just shout. We're all in this together, and hopefully, we can start to get to know ourselves a wee bit better, and in that be stronger. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.